Hello and welcome to ILTV's Evening Update. I'm Aaron Porras here with the latest news from Israel. A groundbreaking ruling by the Court of Appeals of Versailles, France, says that Israel's presence in Judea and Samaria is unequivocally legal under international law. The court dismissed a lawsuit brought by the Palestinian Authority against Jerusalem's light rail built by French companies Alstom and Veolia. The tracks built by the French companies traveled into Palestinian neighborhoods, but the court ruled on the legal rights of Palestinians and Israelis in the region and declared in 2013 that the Palestinians have no right in the legal sense to the region, unlike Israel, which is legitimately entitled to all land beyond the 1967 ceasefire or Green Line. This is the first time since the establishment of the State of Israel in 1948 that an independent, non-Israeli court has been called upon to examine the legal status of Judea and Samaria under international law. While the court's findings have no effect on international law, they do have the utmost importance, which is to clarify the legal reality. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has asked Bayit HaYehudi ministers to hold up on submitting a law applying Israeli sovereignty to Ma'ale Adumim. Netanyahu said Israel needs to work a while with US President Donald Trump before taking any significant political steps. The law was scheduled to be submitted today, after which the Knesset was to vote on it. Netanyahu reportedly called Habayit HaYehudi party leader Naftali Bennett on Friday and asked him to wait on the bill. Bennett, who has been a strong proponent of the bill, tweeted last night about the importance of advancing the legislation. Quote, "We've entered a new diplomatic era," he wrote. "For the first time in 50 years, it is in the hands of the Prime Minister to decide the sovereignty of Palestine. The continuation of the Bar Ilan-Palestine line would spell endless trouble," end quote. He said this referring to Netanyahu's speech at Bar Ilan University in 2009, in which he endorsed support for a demilitarized Palestinian state. The Jerusalem City Council's Zoning Committee has approved the construction of residential apartments in the neighborhoods Ramat Shlomo, Piskat Ze'ev, and Ramot, all of which are located beyond the Green Line in Judea and Samaria. Another 105 housing units were approved for the Palestinian Eastern Jerusalem neighborhoods of Wadi Hoz and Beit Hanina as well. According to committee chairman Meir Torgerman, the final approval of the long process that can take up to several years was delayed in 2014, and then after being scheduled for a vote last month, was further delayed until the end of the Obama administration and the inauguration of President Donald Trump. Of the total number of housing units, some 300 will be built in Ramot, while the rest will be split among the other neighborhoods. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu personally reached out to ordinary Iranian citizens last night and called on them to break away from the shackles of Islamic authoritarianism. Speaking on his Facebook page in English with Persian subtitles, Netanyahu said people in the Islamic Republic would, quote, "want to be able to speak freely, to love who you want without the fear of being tortured or hung from a crane. Tragically, you are shackled by a theocratic tyranny," he said. "In a free Iran, you will once again be able to flourish without limit. But today, a cruel regime is trying to keep you down," end quote. Netanyahu said that he plans to speak soon with United States President Donald Trump about how to counter the threat of the Iranian regime and hopes to convince the president to take a tougher stance against their government. An international study of the HIV virus in Africa has concluded that male circumcision significantly curbs the spread of all HIV variants. Titled "Male Circumcision and the Epidemic Emergence of HIV-2 in West Africa," the findings of the study by 6 researchers published last month revealed that whereas male circumcision is known to correlate negatively in Africa with HIV-1 prevalence, commonly known as acquired immune deficiency syndrome or AIDS, studies examining the issue for HIV-2, the rarer variant found predominantly in Africa, are lacking. The researchers compiled their results from surveys on the prevalence of HIV-2 in 30 cities of all West African countries and cross-checked those with male circumcision rates of 218 West African ethnic groups. This study revealed that HIV-2 only formed early substantial focuses in cities with substantial uncircumcised populations. That's all for now. Stay tuned on ILTV.tv for our main daily broadcast playing after this. I'm Aaron Porras and see you next time with our morning briefing from Israel at 8 a.m. Eastern Time.